Excited about this, and I have to tell you guys. You know, a couple of weeks ago, President Obama came to Fort Collins, right? Anyone there at Fort Collins that knew he was there? And I was supposed to meet the governor at the Loveland Airport, and the president was flying in to the Loveland Airport, so he had to come in on Air Force 2. It was too small an airport to come in on Air Force 1. And I was going to get dropped off there by a staffer who was then going to take my son up to CSU, where they were hoping to get decent seats. And I was going to get a chance with the governor to greet the president when he got off the plane. So of course I was excited about that, and then I was going to be able to ride with the governor in his state trooper car over to the speech. But the governor was flying in from Pueblo, and his plane, the president's plane, came in early. And so they had to divert the governor's plane to Greeley, so the governor couldn't be there. So I had no ride from the airport to the speech.
Oh, no.
So I thought, well, you know, I'll figure something out, and they were going to put me in with Congressman Polis in his minivan, and we were going to drive in the motorcade. But then we were there waiting for the president to get off the plane. Ken Salazar was the first in line, and only because the governor wasn't there, I was second in line to greet the president as he got off the plane. So I was pretty pumped up by that. That was exciting to get to meet the president as he got off the plane, and he came down and charming as always greeted us. But then he saw some other folks outside the fence in small bleachers, and he said, I'm going to go say hello to those other folks over there. So he went over to greet the crowd, and Secretary Salazar and I were there talking about how were we both going to get to the speech, you know, 20 minutes away in the motorcade, you know, an hour away if you weren't in the motorcade. And as we were standing there talking, someone came over, and I guess the president had heard us, and he kind of motioned us over to the president's limo. Wow. And said, jump in. So Secretary Salazar said, man, this never happens. Let's go. Two guys who look like you and me, you know, who have known each other for all these years, since we were both in law school. And he said, now we're going to get a chance to ride in the limo with the president. And so we went over, jumped in. The president came just a couple minutes later, jumped in, sat there with us, and we had a 25-minute drive in the motorcade talking about, well, Ken was serious. Ken wanted to talk about strategy and different political issues. I want to talk about living in the White House and raising kids. And the president was just so charming. He wanted to talk to me about his daughters, and that one had just made, as a freshman, the varsity tennis team, and he was so proud of that. His other daughter was taking advanced placement Spanish, and he was so proud of her, although he also said, of course, she's the only one who doesn't have Spanish-speaking parents at home, so she's going to have to work extra hard. And then he talked about his daughters and how he was worried about them growing up in the White House and afraid what that would do to him, just so pleased that they were turning into such pleasant and charming and responsible young women. Clearly just a proud father. And so it was great. I just will never forget that 25 minutes having a chance to talk about my kids and his kids with a man who is so genuine, so authentic, and so caring. And I just had to tell you that story. So,
oh, that's a great story.